Hello and welcome to an episode of Jacob's House of Rock. My name's Jacob and today we have a really exciting unboxing video. I'm so hyped for this. You guys have no idea. Before we get into it, just some stuff I wanted to bring up. I'm sorry I haven't done any videos on this channel in so long. I just have been really occupied with some other stuff, and I've actually been waiting on this before really getting into any more videos, because this is kind of going to be really important for some of my upcoming ones, even though I do have a lot of other planned videos which have nothing to do with this, but that's, you know, neither here nor there at this point. But you guys know from the title, in this box we have some JayDee, John Diggins pickups, that being the Old Boy set, designed for the Tony Iommi Old Boy style guitars that they produce, as well as their Monkey set, which are recreations of the pickups used in Tony Iommi's Monkey guitar, that being the first sort of classic SG special guitar that he had modified by John Birch and played that during Black Sabbath's earlier albums. And the Old Boy guitar is one which was built somewhere in the late 70s, and that one is one that he started using as of like the Heaven and Hell album, and has been using for most of the later Black Sabbath's career as one of the main guitars. If you guys have been following my channel, you know that I am doing a project where I'm going to be modifying and repairing this thing, which is a Tony Iommi custom, not custom, but signature, that's right, signature Epiphone guitar, which has been unfortunately broken, not by yours truly, but by whoever owned it previously. Thus I got it for a fairly good deal. It was still kind of pricey, but you know, compared to buying one new. And I'm going to be doing this as a mod project, completely modifying this thing to be as close as I can reasonably get this thing to being a copy of a JayDee Old Boy style guitar. Now, the reason I didn't buy one just straight from JayDee, because you can, and they do make them, and they make them really faithful to the ones that Tony Iommi is actually using, is that those ones cost like $5,000. That's a fuck ton of money for someone like me. So, I would rather just do this modding project and have the satisfaction of actually having a guitar that I put time and effort into and all that good stuff, and seeing how close I can get it that way. So this isn't a cheap project by any means, because these pickups are not cheap, but they're exciting because they are unique and not like any other pickups that you can get in your typical guitars, because these pickups are done in a different size and put into sort of steel shells, made in different ways than other pickups. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling at this point, so let's actually get to the unboxing here so you guys can see this. So I believe this was sent from Birmingham, England, or somewhere around there. Does it actually have a... says where it was sent from? So yeah, sent from Birmingham in the UK, the home of heavy metal. Very sweet, very sweet. So let's snip it open. This thing's actually quite heavy. I'm really surprised. I wasn't expecting this thing to be as heavy as it is. Smells very plasticky opening it up. Got lots of bubble wrap. Okay. Ooh, there we go. There's our pickups all individually wrapped up, which is very cool. These things are heavy. They are. Okay. Little mounting screws, very important. Good that we have those. Well, hopefully these are labeled bridge and neck, because that will be very helpful. More mounting screws, so I guess for both sets. And we've got these 4 little parcel-lets in here, and we just got a bunch of bubble wraps, all packaged real nice. Thank you to the good people at JayDee Custom Guitars. Let's get into it. These are just wrapped up individually like this. I also want to apologize about my lighting and camera quality today. Unfortunately, my lighting setup isn't ideal for filming at night, because it just got dark and I'm too impatient to wait till the next day to unbox these, because I've been waiting long enough for these things. I ordered these in 2020. It is now April 2021, so these things you do have to wait for. They take a long time. but hopefully it'll be worth it. And here we go. Here we've got the first of the monkey pickups. So these ones I'm going to be installing into my Epiphone SG Special P90 Edition guitar. That one is a guitar which I got recently and I absolutely love and adore. However, I think it'll be even cooler if it's actually legitimately set up to be like Tony Iommi's Monkey SG. It's, you know, it would be ideal if I could install these things into a Gibson, because these pickups alone cost like as much as the guitar. So, if not more, or I'm not going to do the math right now, but let's take a look at this thing. Let's not think about that right now. So, it comes all nicely packaged in this nice little plastic Ziploc that fits it perfectly. It's got these custom-made mounting rings, and here it is. Very, very shiny. I'm sorry about the glare, guys, but there you see what the pickup looks like. So, slightly different dimensions to your standard P90, though internally this thing should be pretty much identical to a P90. However, it's actually encased in this custom-made steel metal shell. I mean, steel is obviously metal, but you guys get what I mean. And it should be resin potted, so it should also have like resin poured over it, I think, to keep it all intact and stuff like that. And around the back we've got these really typical sort of wire connections here. I don't know why there's these three little ones, but you know what? The guys making these pickups probably know what they're doing. So the original ones were made by John Birch, who is no longer with us, but his company, John Birch Guitars, is still going and they're still making pickups, but for whatever reason they stopped making them in these classic shells, in this scale that these original John Birch pickups all used to be made in. And now they just make like regular P90 sized and style pickups, which actually have some. So we could potentially compare them, do a comparison between these JayDee recreations, which are actually look a lot more faithful. They seem to be in that smaller scale and built in that same way, as opposed to the newer John Birch ones, which are again basically just standard P90s that they're producing, from what I can tell. Which, you know, isn't a bad thing, because like Black Sabbath, their first album I think was recorded with that guitar before it was modified and had standard P90s in it. But these things are what Tony Iommi would have been using later on, or at least recreations or approximations of those pickups that he was using in that Monkey SG once it was modified by John Birch a bit later on. So really cool. And also these beautiful big pickup mounts around here, which I think are a little bit inaccurate, because I'm pretty sure the Monkey one actually has like a little cutout in one spot so that you can actually get to the screws on the bridge to adjust it, but I don't know, maybe he had that modified at some point and these are made to suit a different time period. These are obviously not the pickups I'm going to be putting in this guitar. I'm going to have the next set of pickups in this, but just to see what they kind of look like if I do put them in a pickup cavity. They actually almost fit in this humbucker cavity. I will have to do some routing, but you can see they do kind of scale a little differently. They do look a little different put in here like this. So there will be some extra work done on both guitars to kind of make the pickups sit in there, and I'll probably do a video on that process. But this is really cool. So I think this is the bridge pickup from the Monkey guitar. So that's real sweet. One thing which I'm a little bummed out about is that these don't have the engravings in them, because for whatever reason I've seen that some of JayDee's guitars actually have engravings in them, whereas these don't. I also don't know whether John Diggins himself worked on these specific pickups or whether it was one of his other employees. I think, yeah, his sons are actually running the company and building a lot of the guitars themselves as well. So it's pretty much like a little family business, which is pretty sweet. But it would be pretty sweet to know if actually the man himself who made a lot of Tony Iommi's guitars and pickups actually worked on these or not. We'll see. I also don't know how accurate these things are to the actual Monkey pickups. that John Birch. It's kind of, I keep having to jump between both Johns because there are these two Johns. So the original guy, John Birch, is the one who worked on, originally worked on Tony Iommi's guitars, and then JD, John Diggins, is the guy who was an apprentice of John Birch, and then was Tony Iommi's main luthier from then on out. So here we have the second pickup, the neck pickup of the Monkey guitar. Look at that. Really cool. It's the one with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pole pieces in it. Really cool. So these pickups have specific names, like Simplux or something like that, or something. The John Birch pickups had specific names like that, but I forget what was the specific ones from that these ones are emulating, but I might research that and talk about that in a future video. This is the second one. Again, it is built almost identically to that one. So this would also be kind of like a rewound P90 style pickup, but with more pole pieces. Again, has this really iconic backing to it, which is just this solid sort of metal shell. This thing is also really heavy as well. So you can tell it's like nice and solidly built because it is filled with resin and it's just a big wire coil. Really cool. I'm super excited to see what these sound like. Oh my god. I can't wait to install these. These will be the first ones which I actually do install into that SG because that's going to be a much easier process, because with my recreation of the old boy guitar, like I keep showing you guys, this is going to be a huge project to actually get done because I have to glue the headstock back on, fix it. I have to change the routes for the pickups. I have to fix some of these chips, like the horn here. I have to actually modify the bridge because I actually got one of those Schaller 456 bridges. I even got the correct tuning pegs, the Spretzel or whatever that brand's called, kind of locking tuners for the tuning pegs. This thing is going to be legit a fantastic guitar, I bet, when it's done. But this is going to take a while. So my Monkey SG, I'm not going to say replica, it's more like a tribute, since it is an Epiphone and not a Gibson, because I'm not made of money or nothing. These pickups alone were so expensive to begin with. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. These pickup mounts, if you guys are curious, they seem to be solid plastic. Let me again change the focus. The lighting's horrible in this video, I know, guys, but I'll do more videos where you can actually get a better look at these things in better lighting without this weird blue tinge that I'm getting in this video. But you see the pickup mounts here are just solid plastic. I was wondering if they'd have like hollow sections on the inside, but they seem to be machined hollow plastic. And just got 4 screws around the edges. Yeah, very interesting. I'm really curious about the construction of these pickups. Very cool. It's a shame that these types of pickups are really hard to get. Like, again, I think only JayDee custom guitars are actually building pickups in this style anymore. Because, like I said, the actual John Birch company are just doing your bog standard P90 shape pickups, or bog standard humbucker style ones, or mini humbuckers, which are probably much cheaper to produce and easier, since you can get mass-produced products for those, like the pickup mounts, surrounds, and the actual covers and all the internal stuff is designed for those sort of typical pickups. But these things are like built from the ground up to be unique and specially customized to actually, you know, be in that John Birch, John Diggins style. So real cool. Let's get to the old boy pickups, which I am so excited about, because when I saw Black Sabbath live, I saw them on the 2013 tour as well as their end tour. So their last 2 tours with Ozzy Osbourne, it was amazing. Tony's guitar sound during those concerts, especially the 2013 tour, was the best guitar tone I have heard ever, like live or studio or both. It was just one of the best sounds I ever heard, and he was playing his old boy guitars quite a lot during those shows with these pickups. So I am just really hyped for these things, because it's just like the sounds like these things should produce, or get as close as possible to producing that sound. At least I'm hoping so. So I've been just dying for these things. Now we got the neck pickup from the Old Boy pickups. Another thing is these are approximations of the Old Boy pickups. Even John Diggins himself, who built that guitar, isn't 100% sure how to recreate those exactly, which is a bit of a bummer. So these aren't going to be absolutely exact, but they're definitely going to be your best bet for getting like a really close approximation. So this is the neck pickup, you can tell, because the bridge pickup has rail pickups in these. So these are basically like mini humbuckers from what I can tell. So let's take a look at these. You can already tell the pickup surrounds are much smaller on these. They're a lot slimmer than the Monkey pickups, but the actual size and construction of the pickup shells I think is identical. You can look at that right on the back. There you go. Again, I'm a little bummed out that they didn't have the engraving in these pickups, because that would have been really perfect. And I've seen that some of the fully made guitars from JayDee do still have engraved pickups, so I don't know what the deal with that is. If you guys know, let me know that in the comments below. Maybe it's only the ones like actually wound by JayDee himself that actually have the engraving in them saying JayDee pickups, but I don't know. Maybe just if you spend the money on the full guitar, they like give you the custom like full fancy treatment and actually put the engraving in. But other than that, these pickups should be identical. Look at that, really nice. I love like the look of these pole pieces. So these pickups basically act like rail pickups. Really sweet. Again, you can see a lot of reflection in them. They're very shiny. Really cool. Pickup mounts are made in the same way, just solid plastic. So made specifically for these, fit really snugly. And now we can actually pair this with the guitar that it's actually going to be living in eventually. So there's our guitar. Again, I've done a full video explaining why and how I'm going to do this project, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but basically I'm modding this guitar because it's actually built as close as you can to like a mass-produced guitar to the JayDee Old Boy guitar. So it's got the cross inlays, the ebony, the ebony fretboard. It's got the extra frets, so it's got more frets than your typical Gibson or Epiphone SG. So got the jack on the side here, which is Tony Iommi's preference, and it should have the strap holder at on the horn instead of like on the back here for extra balance and all that kind of stuff. So it's built more like the JayDee Old Boy guitars. Pickups that they actually have in here, the Gibson Tony Iommi signature pickups, which would have been in this guitar, are actually voiced based off of the actual Old Boy pickups as well. Somebody actually analyzed them and tried to recreate that sound or thereabouts. So I actually can compare it to like a fully built version of this signature Epiphone guitar, because I have another one which I've also done a video on, I think. Let's kind of see what this will look like. Got, again, lovely braided wire on these things, which is always great to see, because braided wire is a nice sign of quality. And I mean, these should be quality pickups for the price of these things. These were not cheap, really weren't. These are the most expensive pickups I've ever bought and probably ever will, unless I like get like a legit set of like John Birch pickups. But like, I think these will satisfy me. So anyway, look at that. It already makes the guitar look so cool. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till this thing is put together. That looks brilliant, and I hope it's going to sound as brilliant as it looks. I mean, I'm going to have to work on my playing a little bit just to make this whole project worthwhile, because my playing can be a bit iffy, but looks-wise, already really coming together. Just seeing this in the guitar, just the proportions, and seeing it next to these cross inlays. That is just so sick. Actually, the guitar, we could look at it this way, because Tony's guitar is left-handed, but yeah, this one's a right-handed one, so we're going to have a right-handed version of his guitar. I don't know if I'm going to paint on this guitar black, or if I'm going to try and attempt to have that like Old Boy really weathered look. I'm apprehensive about both for mixed reasons, but it looks really good black anyway. Kind of like his John Birch custom guitar that he played with in the late 70s before he started using his Old Boy guitar. Really cool. Now for probably like the pickup which is most used for that like Tony Iommi old boy sound, because from what I've heard, Tony Iommi generally uses his bridge pickup most of the time. So we're gonna see the rail pickup, the bridge pickup from this guitar. Again, really heavy. These things are chunky. I wonder what magnets these use and how they're kind of constructed internally. I'm curious about that, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, a well-made pickup can use whatever magnet as long as it's, you know, voiced accordingly from what I've heard, but it's neither here nor there. Anyway, the rail pickup. Oh, look at that. Got these two beautiful rails. That like classic look. This is gonna look so cool next to that Schaller 456 fine tuning bridge, which I've already bought that one. I've done a video on it. Real cool. Look at that. Looks beautiful. Again, same proportion, same shell design, just a different style of pickup, rail pickup. These two should, you know, function really similar. The rail shape, the shapes of these, you know, the screws is going to have a difference in how it's, you know, wired internally, but both are essentially rail pickups, which is real sweet. Look at those. Oh my god, it feels so satisfying to finally have these things in hand. I just love how heavy they are. They feel really well built. That's so cool. That is so cool. I think maybe these like holes here are where they pour the resin in, and that's why they have these holes around the edges, and they can see the black resin. So that's really cool. Nice. Let's do the thing again where we put them in the guitar and kind of just marvel at how cool it looks, despite being completely unfunctional as of right now. They don't fit in perfectly yet because these routes aren't. They kind of fit, but the pickguard is just slightly in the way. Nice. In my next video about these, I will like measure them for you guys so you can see the proportions of these pickups and compare them to, like, next to some P90s, humbuckers, and all that sort of stuff, so you get the vibe of the proportions. I'll weigh them, I'll see what DC resistance they have, and eventually I will actually install them and test them sonically, but that's all stuff that I'm planning on doing in an upcoming video. You could even see there's some fingerprints on some of these, I wonder if they're my fingerprints or if they're like guys from JayDee guitars on these. Anyway. Also, Tony Iommi's old boy guitar, even the pickups on that thing are starting to look really old. Like, he retired that guitar a little while ago as well. But it kind of fits with the vibe of a more sort of scuffed up, older looking guitar. But it's kind of cool to see these things still looking all shiny and new, just for a change. Okay. I don't know if the pickup placement is exactly how it is on his guitar, because from what I've seen, I think on the actual Tony Iommi Old Boy, the pickups are kind of far apart, because they're like, one's pushed up right against the... Okay, focus should be auto-adjusting. But the bridge pickup should be pushed up really close to the bridge, and the neck pickup is like right up against the neck, so they would be probably quite far apart. But there we go. That's what this guitar is going to look like eventually, once it actually has a headstock. I made a joke a little while ago saying, like, if I don't succeed in this project, then I'm going to be fine with that, because then I can just call this guitar the Headless Cross. If you guys get my drift, and you get the reference. But yeah, that looks real sweet. I think first thing what I'm going to do, probably just tomorrow, because I can't even resist, is I am going to install these monkey pickups into my Epiphone guitar. I'm going to install these into that. I'm going to install a 0 fret and change the bridge, I think. I should have all the parts ready. Install locking tuners as well. It's not accurate to Tony's guitar, but I have a set of locking tuners ready, because since you start using locking tuners, or since I've started using locking tuners, I've found that, like, I have no interest in going back to regular tuners. They're just too good. They're too easy. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, is install these, and I really can't wait to play through them. I'll do like a before and after demo if I can as well. You should see what these sound like compared to your typical 90 style pickups, because these ones should pretty much be P90s, but again, just built a little differently in this specific way. But the windings inside them and the general shape and style of them should be pretty close to P90s. But really interested to see how these fare. And yeah, I was worried these would never get made because these took so long to get made, but they're here now. Really cool. Really cool. So yeah, that is it for my unboxing of these. I apologize that you didn't get to hear a sound demo. I know I get a lot of dislikes and people complaining about that in some of my other unboxing videos of stuff, but yeah, I will get you one eventually, guys. It's coming. It's just I have to wait just as long as you guys do to actually hear these things. So I'm in the same boat as you guys, as it were, unfortunately. But yeah, that is it for this video. But I'll hope to see you guys in my future video where we'll actually test out those Monkey SG or Monkey pickups. But until then, keep on rocking. Peace out. Bye.